My favorite segment, We the People of DC, a chance to meet some of our neighbors, everyday people who are changing lives. Stephon Bradberry is the founder and CEO of Flowwell Yoga and Fitness, or Wellness rather. He's already led countless classes over the years with hundreds of people taking part at various locations in DC. Now Stephon is opening up a new studio on Howard Road in Southeast, but before that, he's here with us. Stephon, it is great to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me.
I feel like we could all use this. Use your energy right now.
Hopefully I can use my own energy. Yeah.
All right, so you started, in terms of your yoga journey, what, 2021?
I became a teacher in 2021.
Okay, so why yoga?
Honestly, so I went to the University of North Texas, and on our last week before I moved, my mentor had asked me, she was like, what does your life in DC look like? And I was coming for graduate school and I was coming to work in Congress, right? But my answer to her was, I practice yoga with Black people. Had I ever done yoga with Black people in Denton, Texas, where I went to school? Absolutely not. But I just knew somehow, some way that would happen. And so when I moved here and I started working in Congress and I started graduate school, the one thing I didn't start was yoga. And then when the pandemic, started happening, I was practicing online before that. But as things continued and I noticed what it was doing for me, I was like, oh, this is actually something I knew years ago that I really wanted to get into. And now, on the other side of it, I'm like, oh, I'm so glad that I made that decision. And it really just feels like a homecoming, like something always was telling me that this practice was gonna be for me.
You said you knew what it was doing to you. You saw what it was doing to you. What was that?
It made me see that at that time, working in Congress, that my work was to bring the voices that weren't in that marble building inside of them. It was to bear witness at that time that, Black folks were dying 13 times the rate as everybody else, and that we were disproportionately prepared for the crisis coming to us. And so what the practice was showing me every day was that, wait, when I take a moment to figure out what's going on in my body, I can see what's going on in the world. And I can make that connection. And with that connection, I can say, wait a minute, I can do something about that, right? And I was a policy clerk. Was I making decisions? No. But was people hearing my voice? Absolutely. And so that's why I was like, okay, maybe Congress isn't for me. Maybe I need to go out and be with the people, right? And so I did, but it slowed me down. It got me into myself. It made me embodied.
Okay, so I mean, when it comes to yoga, I feel like you have people who will say, I love it. No, I'm not going to give that a try. It's not for me. But usually those are the people who haven't even tried it.
Correct.
So what is it about yoga? How does it change your life outside of the physical sense?
The writer Cole Arthur Riley has said, a disembodied people can never be free. And for me, being, a descendant of people who by hook or crook have figured it out, what embodiment meant is that I got to know something about myself. And I think about the people that I come from who weren't going to meditation or going to yoga classes, but instead paced their kitchen floors. And they silently prayed while standing over the kitchen sink. And it made me see that embodiment was just I know that when I close my eyes, it's my eyes that I'm closing, right? It's not the world's eyes. And so that's what it does. And for the people who say I can't do this or I can't see myself in it, yoga is just to bring together, right? If I'm just standing here we're doing yoga right now, right? If for the people at home that are watching
this is yoga?
This is yoga.
This is yoga. Okay, look at that. That's simple.
And you're doing it already. It's already incorporated into your life. So maybe we don't call it that. Maybe it's just my life and my living. That's all I'm doing. I'm just living my life, right? But the practice that we're trying to get people connected to is, I don't want you to be fit, I want you to be well. I want you to be well resourced. I want you to be strong in your body, sturdy in your soul. And that's the connection that we're making with people. And I think that's why we're over 9,000 strong, because it's not this good vibes only yoga that you can find, that you find in places where they want you to clear your mind.
Don't think about the world,
exactly,
escape.
This slow and slurine music, you know what I'm saying? All that stuff. No, we turn up the music, how we laugh and we have a good time, because that's the reality of our lives. You know what I'm saying? I want to confront it, but it's not misery every second of every day.
So we're not separating. We're not leaving all that at the door, which is fascinating because you always hear that, whether it's yoga or some other fitness class. It's
leave it
all at the door.
I can't.
So why not? What does that do when you bring it to that space in terms of yoga?
You confront it.
You confront it. Okay.
You
so you
deal
have
with
to
it.
confront it.
You have to.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, it's one of those things where, like, if you after a while get into a situation where all you do is run away, your body will never know what it's capable of doing. And what we're saying is that when you confront the world, we can tackle and change the world, right? And we're seeing how the world imprints on us, how all of the things that are happening, I call it the schemes and schisms that pull us apart, right? Like, once you start practicing and you see that you're holy and sacred, the person next to you has to be holy and sacred. And if we're sacred, then the people out there are sacred. And that means I got to do something to protect their sacredness, and the world can't go on as it is.
Yeah.
And that's what we're trying to get people to change.
Wow, you're changing lives.
Yeah.
Lots of lives. Is that why you opened in the Bridge District? Was that intentional in terms of that space, or?
Yeah,
Okay,
I will say that it's spirit. Lindsay Morton at Red Brick has been absolutely phenomenal. Both of us lost our grandmothers at the start of January. And I didn't want another studio after being in Union Market. I didn't want to do this. The last conversation I had with my grandmother was, this opportunity is here. I think I may do it, but I don't want all. She said, well, I don't care. You know what you got to do.
Yeah.
You know, you and God have made a decision, and you need to go out and do that thing. And so, Bridge District is I think, the manifestation of lots of people's prayers, and we're going directly to where the people are. You know, we're going to the folks who have been, I think, maybe written off or disregarded.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going directly to you, and I'm letting you know that this practice that has been around for 2,000 plus years is a practice that could meet us in this moment and can transform our lives.
I love it. Okay, so let's bring in some of my classmates. We have, did I lose Joe? No, I still have my Joe here. I have Amber. You're going to show us a couple moves. I guess we're going to have a mini class here.
Yes.
Even though we already did yoga apparently for the last
just
6 or
the
7
talking
minutes.
is yoga,
We'll elevate it a little bit. So how
Yeah.
are we fine where we are? You good? We are. Come on to class, Amber. Welcome. All right. So what do we do? How do we start?
Okay, let's say that our big toes touch. The big toes touch so much that you can press down and soften in the shoulders. Maybe the gaze goes below the nose, or maybe you close the eyes altogether. Inhale, get really long in the spine, so someone's pulling a string through it. Exhale, let it go. One more time, inhale. Exhale, let it go. All right, inhale, send the fingers overhead. Chase the gaze with the fingers. Exhale, bend the knees, touch down.
Uh-oh. Okay.
But bend the knees a lot. Some of us are going to interlock the elbows, and maybe you sway side to side, right? But the consistent thing is that the crown is down towards the earth, or towards the cement here in the studio. We're here for 3. Bend the knees even more. Take some pressure off the low back. 2.
Whoa.
Yes, and 1. Inhale, straighten the legs, bring the palms to the shins and the shoulders behind the ears. Inhale, making a figure 7 with the body. Exhale, bend the knees a little less as you fold. Inhale, reach things up overhead.
As you exhale, cactus the elbows, press the pelvis forward, open the chest. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, bend the knees, touch it down. One more time.
Y'all hanging in there? Y'all good?
Inhale to halfway. Exhale, you fold. Inhale, reach it up overhead.
Exhale, palms to prayer, bring things to center. Maybe you soften the gaze or close the eyes. Yeah, and bring the palms to your side, shake it out, let it go. We start all of our classes that way because I want people to know that, like, you ain't got to do too much, right? Like, if that's what you want it to be for the whole class, it can be.
Yeah.
Or you can go on the journey with us the rest of the class.
That's awesome. How'd that feel? You feel great?
Yeah.
You feel good?
Good.
Stephon,
Thank you.
Thank you so much
Thank
for being
you.
here with us. Check out Flowwell Yoga and Wellness in the Bridge District, opening soon.
Soon.
Very soon.